Good morning.
Okay, I think we'll wait a couple more minutes so that people could trickle down in. So bear with us. Okay, I think I'm gonna get started. It's 9:32. Thanks for joining us. I'm not Idona, and I have I have a really serious warning for you guys when we get started. And it's true of all the masterminds. You are recorded, all your reactions are recorded. I had looked back on some of the AI masterminds, and my face had so much expressions, and it's recorded forever in Remax library. So even though you're seriously and immensely enjoying my presentation, try to have like a serious face. That's my warning. Just kidding, but not kidding. So, welcome to the Profile Check Mastermind. It may not be a full 30 minutes, but I believe that it's really one of the most important things that we have to do. Do you guys see my slides for Profile Check?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Okay, so just gonna go into a little bit of hold on, let's see here. Okay. A little bit of some of the stats that I kind of looked up, and really agents with or without some kind of systems are gonna seriously be ahead of the game. And that's why I think it's important to get started. I know some of you guys use it. We just had a really great presentation about Lofty yesterday. It's really intriguing, but it really means nothing if you're not going to start it. So it's important to get that first step started, because without that first step, you're not going to be able to do the rest of the stuff. And when I'm going over, or if Tyler is going over, or Idona is going over, and other managers are going over, hey, you can use this app, or you can send out email blast about your property or any property in the MLS. And you're like, I want to do it. I have a new listing, and I want to, guess what? You didn't do the first steps. So now you're behind. And we're using this open house app. It links to my CRM. I'm like, people are clicking on things. I'm getting notified. And someone wants to be like, I want to use it. I have open house this way. But if you didn't do these steps, it's really not going to help you. Okay, so it's important to get this first step started. So whenever, and hopefully soon you're going to get started with some of the things that we're going to go over with you, that it's going to help you. If you go into a restaurant or any kind of business, if there is no process, if there's no program or system, they're going to lose customers. They're going to lose clients. Maybe they served 10 people correctly, but the chaos and it gets busy, they've lost out, on the 15th person or the 20th person that came in, and you're not going to get a great review because there was no system intact. And so you weren't able to service the people that potentially could have been a regular, right? So that's what we're trying to say. We're saying that agents who adopt a CRM, which Remax pays for, and it's an awesome program, and they earn 47% more because it's a system and they rely on it, and it taps into people and clients and prospects and leads that maybe you don't have time for. So that's the real importance of why you're using these systems. So here's some also stats that I've, researched up, and look, its lead conversion is 2 to 3 times. We know leads are hard to convert, but why don't we use the systems that we have? A lot of times we get like, oh, they were bad lead. Just put them in there and let the system do its job. And maybe it doesn't turn into anything, but what are the chances? There are chances that they're going to react to you. And I'll tell you, KV Core, because I've been in a different company, um, it's a lead nurturing program. Do you understand what that means? It's like a lead that comes in, and sometimes it has to be a junk, a bogus lead 12 times for it to be a genuine lead. So you could be that 11th or the 12th person, or you could be the third or the fourth, but the system is nurturing these leads for you. And it may become nothing, but there's a chance that it's going to become something. So if these tools are there for you, why not use them to create those lead conversions? And look at this client retention. It's 64%. Repeat referrals. Lot of clients love you. They closed with you. You were great. But 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the line, they're just going to go to the next person who's kind of reached out to them at the right time. So why not use the system that's going to be like, hey, I'm still here. I'm with you. I have real estate information. I have market reports. I have, stats for you from your town. So those are the things that we're touching base with them, and you're keeping top of mind with them in order for them to come back and say like, oh yeah, she was great. I remember. She helped me buy my, first home. Why wouldn't I go back to her? Right? Or they're going to be like, oh, she's so tech savvy. She's sending what they may not like some of the stuff that you send. It's too much. Okay. They unsubscribe. What's the harm? Right? Don't get, don't worry about that. Okay. So I'm just going to go with the slide, and at the end, I'm going to do a live demo. So you're in remax.net. Okay. And a lot of you guys I know are sometimes not even in there, or they've never been in there, because I have agents that are like, where? What is my login? So I want you to know that this is when you onboarded, everybody has access to remax.net. Okay. And you're going into the profiles. Okay. And this is where you go right on the picture and you say update profile. And really, it's simple, yet a lot of people have not already done this because sometimes it takes time. Okay. These are this first profile overview is kind of everything. Okay. And we're going to go step by step. Same thing. You go there and you do one at a time. Okay. And there's sections for you. But this is the overall look. Okay. Overall information that it's going to show you. And if you see on the top of like just this page, you're like, oh, this is different. This is wrong. Okay, then you know which section you need to go to. But for training purpose, I'm just going to go through each section. So here's the general info, and you're always going to go hit that edit button if you need to change something. Okay, oopsie. Okay, edit button to change something. Here's your title. You are a sales associate or a real estate agent. Realtor associate, you can use those. And here's just general information about you, info. And this ISP email, I don't know what that means, but it is the email that you need to put that you are using in your business. Okay. So everything comes out of your remax.net email and this ISP is the kind of like the cover email. So if they're responding or replying to you on these email campaigns or there was activity, it's going into this email. So it's an email that you have access to, that you are using all the time. So that's where I would put it. So I don't know. I think, very few people who actually have access to or are using the Remax email. But so if you are and you have just a regular Gmail, whatever you're using for your business, that's what you're putting in the ISP email. Again, really important, because if you don't see the status or that they clicked on something or they replied to something and you don't, you didn't change anything, then you're not going to see it. Okay. Going down is actually your social media links. It's your website. Yes, we all have individual websites. They are lead generating website, meaning there are certain companies that will give you kind of like a page or profile page, kind of like a website, but when they search a property up and they want some more information about it, it'll go to the company. These leads, if they contact, it says contact your agent, and they're on your website, it goes right to you. It goes into your CRM. It's treated as a lead. KV Core, BoldTrail will treat it as a lead that came in, and we'll put them in some kind of program. But we have a website, so you should put that there. You should use that as some kind of landing page sometimes. There's a contact me page there, and you can use that link. But I find that the vanity name that we have, it's like We Sell New Jersey, is really great. I love it. I used to pay for a separate vanity, and you can, buy a separate vanity name if you wanted to, but I think the name that the website they give us is great. Here's my LinkedIn. If you have, Twitter or, at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I would add all of those things in there. Now, you can't just put like your name, you actually have to get the link. That's why sometimes when I'm sitting down with someone, they're like, oh, and it has to be the link that you open up on your computer. We have it on our phones, but sometimes, we need the actual full link to put on there because these are going to be clickable links right next to your name on your website. So people want to know who you are and they're doing, let's say, a listing presentation and they're like, who is this person? They most likely will do an initial search. And if you don't have a website, I don't know. If I'm searching a company and they don't have a website, I highly doubt that I'm going to go with that person. Okay. And of course, there's the mobile. So I wanted to highlight that. Okay. So get it ready, like open it up, have your passwords ready, and copy that whole link of your profile page into here so that when they're clicking on it on your website or anywhere else where it features your profile, it's clickable and they go straight to you. And of course, your mobile number, your photo. Okay, you can replace that, you can add it, but we really, our face, our names are our brand, so make sure you put it on there. If I'm going to remember, your profiles are being it's displayed in Remax.com. Remax.com has been advertised all over the country and world. Okay. And if they're looking for somebody and I search up, let's say, in, Fort Lee, and if there's a bunch of agents and with like no photos and I have the photo, guess what? I'm pretty sure that person's going to click on me. If you don't have a bio, and you don't have a photo, you don't have information, it's less likely they're gonna click on you. Okay. All right, so professional detail, again, very important. Your license number needs to be on there. It does get connected. Here's some specialties. There are keywords you can just add, and then there's a bunch of like categories that you can add, and there's also service areas. I would put as much as you can. I don't know what the limit is. I don't know if there is a limit, but in case someone is looking and they're typing up agent in, Cliffside Park, you want to make sure that those, areas do, come up. So it's important. Again, profile check is really the first step for anybody. Here's a personal bio. Where it goes on your website, on contact me or about the agent. And again, a lot of people going on your website to search you up, to look you up. You don't want to be that person that is like blank. It also goes on your listing or buyer's presentation. Okay. And we're gonna, do those presentations. And when you're sending let's say you're doing a listing presentation or even a buyer's presentation, and in the beginning of like who I am, this is who I am, and this is my history, this is my bio. But when you don't have that in this section, it won't filter over. And there's no way to add it there. Okay, so it is important, again, again, I've had agents be like, oh, I need to do a listing presentation, bam, bam, bam. None of the stuff is ready. Okay, so that's why it's important to get started. I will repeat that multiple times. Okay, so here's really the complex part of it is the MLS affiliation. Now, some MLSs are easier, some are not. And I don't know in all areas of New Jersey how it interacts, but you're going to go into the edit section and put your MLS number in there. For NJMLS or New Jersey MLS, it does say that it's pending, but it's not pending. It is there. You put your code in there, Hudson MLS, Garden State, whatever MLS that you are part of, you're going to put in there, and the feeds do come in. I do want to mention that if the feeds do not come in from, let's say, your MLS, it might be that your MLS or your specific MLS will require an IDX feed. It's like information data exchange feed, okay? They may charge a one-time fee Okay, NJMLS was $25. There's a form that you fill out. The BoldTrail people do help you with that. There is a link that you fill out, and they send you an application to sign off, and they get it started, and you pay that one-time fee, and then it's connected forever. Okay, and that goes with like your website. It goes with, let's say you're doing marketing materials, and you just put the MLS in there, and everything filters. I helped somebody with an open house, and it took me like 10 minutes. It was kind of like last minute. And I was like, oh my God, let me put the MLS number in there. But again, if you don't have that feed ready and you didn't sign that IDX form, and I don't know what other forms in certain other MLSs will need, um, you you can't do it at the last minute, right? So this is going to be very, very important. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, because there are some complex things that we have to do just in the beginning. It's just the setup, right? And of course, if you belong to a certain club, I believe it automatically populates. All right. Then you go into BoldTrail, and there is another profile section, but you'll see on the side that the emails are there, the website is there, the phone number there. That phone number sometimes is a smart number. It's how they track activity. So it may not be your cell phone number right at the top, so don't worry about that. But I go into my profile. And again, it's the section with the MLS. So I'm still going to go into edit profile and put my MLS number in there. And you can look it up in the ID, and your NERDS number needs to be on there. And I believe the vendor number automatically populates, and that's Remax, okay? Select. So I wanted to highlight that because that's important. That may take time, right? So, Donna said right now is actually New Year's for agent, because now we're planning for the next year, and we're doing business planning, we're prospecting, we're making sure that we have things on the pipeline that after you guys wind down for the year, you're not like empty going into the new year. So let's get this, set up. All right, so this is the section where, you can put a customized email signature on there. It does have it. I realized it does have a very simple one that they do have if you don't put that on there. And there's that turn it on if you want it after every section. And I also want to make sure that you do put your business hours. Now, hopefully you guys do have a Google My Business page, and you have a business Facebook page, and all of those platforms actually really talk to each other. So make sure you are putting like the same hours so that they connect and say, oh, this is kind of like the same business. And they like that. They kind of like the consistency of you, and, because they think like, oh, you're a legitimate office, company or a business. Okay. And that's it. So I am going to go into a live demo. Okay, right here. All right, so it's going to be quick, and you saw all the slides, and it really is self-explanatory. You're just going to go here, update profile. And again, you're seeing exactly what you saw, right? Let me move this here. And the contact info, again, you can edit, okay, and put that email in there. If something changes, here's your photo, you're going to replace it. Professional details is really important that you put that license number in. And again, this section is really going to be the kicker, okay? That needs to happen. All right, so make sure you're putting that in, and professional. And I would use ChatGPT and just put in your strong points and what you do and how you became an agent or how you love it and what your passion is, and put some personal stuff, because people do relate to that. And that's why we have the civic activities and hobbies. And Glenn Baker always talks about like how, he connects with the community. And if there's something passionate about what you do, like you volunteer with, in a community center, I would put that in there, because people do connect to certain like personal information that you give. A lot of like agents will be like, I'm a mom of two and I grew up in Bergen County and this is what I do. And, so there's definitely some personal aspects that people do connect with. And again, I'm going in here, my profile in BoldTrail. And here's my social media all came in, right? Because I did it in the Mac Center. And this is where I would look up my agent ID and make sure you put all that information and save. Okay. So I think that's it. I know that it's super simple, but it's a pain in the butt and people don't do it. And then that causes, I think, a delay in using BoldTrail, and you get frustrated and you're like, oh, this BoldTrail, I can't use this. It's like, this is dumb. I mean, just like, don't will complain and saying this doesn't work, but it takes time. Sometimes there's like, a glitch and, things like that. So, um, just make sure you're putting it in. Deborah said, who do I go to get login? I think when you first onboarded, everybody has a Remax email. And then you go into remax.net, put in your Remax email, and you can do forgot my password and create a new password. So it's usually your name at remax.net. Okay. And then,
Mary, I would
yes.
just like to add, in order for agents to have access to Max Center, they must pay their yearly due of the $410. If they have not paid that, that means they would not be able to have access to it. So just make sure that if you have never seen this site, that means you did not pay your 410 dues to Remax.
And yeah, that's an awesome point. And guys, I just want to say some of this, like KB Core is like sometimes $500 to $800 per month for some of the things that they have on there. It's really great. I've been in the company since January. I'm the manager in Fort Lee, and I came from a company that has CRMs, and it doesn't do some of the stuff, a lot of the stuff. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. I'm like, oh my God, the app, I did the open house. They came in and they clicked on something and I'm getting all this activity. You have to work it for sure. Okay. It's not going to do your job. It's just going to help you. And it's engaging with these leads that are coming in, right? And it's nurturing them. So that's how you go in. If you have any problems, you can definitely go to your manager and they can probably do some troubleshooting to make sure. Yeah, definitely need to pay for the yearly dues to get in there. And that's it. What, any other questions, you guys? Okay. So like I said, it's not too long and it's very simple, but it does take time for you to set it up. So I really encourage you guys to do that, to take advantage, because in setting it up, you might feel like, oh, wait, this didn't work. So let's fix those glitches or whatever the hiccups are so that when you have a great, awesome listings that you can use the tools to do like boost or do these new we have a new program that's doing marketing for you, all of us, like they're creating all these assets for you, but if it's not connected, they really can't do that for you. So it's gonna take work on your end in the beginning, and it's really the step one of that. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Well, we didn't really have that much questions, but you can definitely reach out to me if you have any question, if you feel frustrated, and just I could help you out. We can set up a one-on-one if you need it. Okay.
Thank you, Mary.
All righty. See you guys next week.